Hello and welcome to part 11 of our Serendipity Booksellers C++ software development project. In this exercise we are going to convert our arrays to structured data. So we are going to replace the arrays that we added in chapter 7 with a single array of structures. Right now we have a double arrays, and we have parallel arrays for everything. In other words, we have one array for ISBN, one for title, and so forth. Now we are gonna kind of make it more compact and use structures. So here's what we're going to be doing. We are going to create a file, a book data structure, with the following members. It's going to have book title, ISBN, author, publisher, basically the same as our arrays have now. And here's the description how it's gonna be. Like, for example, book title, it's an array of characters, so it's gonna be C-string, and the array should have 51 elements, just like it has now. And the same with ISBN, but it has 14 elements. For example, quantity on hand is an integer, wholesale is double, and so forth. So that kind of remains the same, but it's gonna be in structure instead of just an array. Now there will be functions that will be kind of setting up the values for these arrays. For example, set title. This function accepts as arguments a pointer to a string and an integer that will act as a subscript into the array of book data structures. And it copies the string to the book title member of the array element specified by the subscript. And it is a void. It doesn't return anything. The same or very similar is the ISBN, the same author, publisher. Quantity, on the other hand, now this function accepts an integer holding a quantity, an integer that will act as a subscript into an array of book data structures. And it copies the quantity parameter to the quantity hand member of an array, and it again is a void. The same with wholesale, retail, but there's going to be two new ones. One is called isEmpty, and this function accepts an integer that will act as a subscript into the array of book data, just like the other ones. And the function will return an integer indicating whether the structure specified by the subscript is empty. 1 is empty, 0 is not empty. If the first character of the book title member is 0, in other words, that's the null terminator, then the function returns 1 because it's empty. There's nothing there. Otherwise, 0 is returned. And the remove book function accepts an integer that will act as a subscript into the book data structures. And the function will remove a book from the inventory. Like right now, we have a delete function, which will remain, but it has the functionality for actually deleting the book from the arrays. It's gonna be replaced by the remove book, and it does so by simply setting the first character of the book title member to 0, which is the null terminator. So we set it to 0, and if that's the first character, then isEmpty function will pick it up as the record has been deleted. Now there will be, we have multiple arrays right now, and we have to replace them with a single array of structures, and we will modify the lookUpBook function in our inventory menu. It should be changed to search the structure array for the books, and when a book is found, then the data should be passed to the book info function. The same with editBook function, and the same with deleteBook function as well, except this one will also be using that isEmpty. To remove the book function as well. And cashier function has to be modified as well, because again we have the structure now. So when the sale takes place, the function should search the structure for the needed data and retrieve it, and that's all the other operations will function the same. Alright, so the first thing we can do is create the book data structure. So we will have a file and a header. In fact, I'm going to create a header first, because that will have all the prototypes for the functions in it. So I'm gonna create those, basically just following the instructions from the slideshow, you know, as far as what the function is supposed to look like for the prototypes. So it's gonna be called book data, and this is a header, and we'll do the standard. We'll check whether the header has been initialized first, and then we will do the functionality in it. So if not defined, our book data underscore h, then we will define it, book data underscore h, and then we will end it, and if, oops, not like that, but with the pound sign. All right, so let's create a structure. First, it tells us in the instructions that we're working with the C string, so we still need this string size, and it will equal to 51, just like they tell us to. Now the structure itself is called book data. I'm gonna define it over in the header over here, and it will have the array. So it's gonna have the book title array, and it's a string size because obviously it's C strings. The same with ISBN. So this is gonna be the structure of arrays for the books. The next one is author. The next one will be publisher. Like that, string size. The next one is the date added. And what is there? Quantity on hand, so it's integer quantity on hand. That's not an array, it's just a quantity. These are arrays simply because these are C strings, so we need to pass the size of the C string. So double wholesale, again, no, not an array, and double retail. So that's our structure. So basically this is one record, and we will have 20 records we will have 20 structures, and one structure is basically one record, or one book data structure is one record for one particular title. So let's do the prototypes for the functions. So the first one was set title, and they want us to pass a pointer to a string, and integer, which is the subscript of the array, void set ISBN. In fact, I'm gonna copy paste this part because it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be void set author, the same thing, void set publisher, the same thing, void set date added, and we have void set quantity. Now this one takes integer and integer. Again, the second integer is the subscript to the array, and void set wholesale, which sets the wholesale price, and it's gonna expect double for the price and integer for the subscript, and void set retail, double and integer, just like that one. And oops, and then there's the new ones, which is the integer is empty. It returns integer and expects integer. It returns 0 or 1 for empty or not, and void remove book, and it expects the subscript. So this is our header for the book data, and the next file I'm gonna create is the actual book data file or the book data structure. So new item, this is gonna be a C file, and call it book data. All right, so now we have the header already done, so we can go straight start working on the functions. First thing, we need to include few things. We're working with C strings, so we'll include the C strings. The next thing we'll include is the header for the book data, obviously. So include book data dot h. Oh, I forgot the quotes. Book data.h. And the next one is include, and we are going to include the string to upper, which will convert all the strings to upper case, just like we had we have the functionality done in the last video. We are going to be using namespace std, and we need few things. We need a constant integer number of books, and like I said, we will hold 20. So we will hold 20 records in our structure. And now we need to create the structure itself. Now the structure itself will be actually created in the main menu, so I'm gonna extern it. We don't have it yet, but it's gonna be called book data. That's the structure. And I'll call it book. So it's a variable called book of a type book data, and we will have 20 of them. In other words, the book number of books. All right, so the book data is this. I mean, we have it created over here, but we don't have the we will declare it in our main menu first. So when I go to our main menu, I can now delete all this. Just leave the constant for the number of books and create our book data or a variable called book with the number of books. Now it's red. It's an error because it says we have to include the header. So I click it and it includes the book data header. So now in our main menu we have the actual declaration for our book data structure, and everything else after that, just like we did with the arrays, will be externally created. We will use the extern keyword. And that's really all for the main menu, so I can close that. I don't think I need anything else. So let me continue with the book data over here. So first function that we need to do is the set title, and it expects the character or the pointer to the string, which we'll call it new title, and it needs the subscript, which is an integer, so I'll just call it subscript. And in it, first thing we'll convert everything to uppercase, so I'll call string upper, and I pass the new title into it, and it will return it and convert it into a upper string. And then they want us to copy, so I'm gonna do string copy. I want to copy from the array from the into the new title. So we go to our book, which is the variable for the book data, the subscript, that's where we are in the array. And if you press period now or dot, you get all the structures that are available to us, all the properties that are available to us in the structure, and one of them is book title. So this book title from this array will be now passed to our new title. So basically it says grab this from the array and assign it to this. It's basically this equals to new title now. but we're using the string copy to do that, to copy, because we are using C string, so it's more convenient. So I'm gonna copy paste this. This one is gonna be set ISBN, and this one is gonna be new, not new title, but the new ISBN. So this is gonna be new ISBN and new ISBN, and instead of book title, it's gonna be .isbn. All right. So again, that's I'm gonna copy paste and set it for the author. Oops, it's gonna be set author, and it's gonna be our new author. Again, we need the subscript that stays the same. So new author, and over here it will say book dot, and you can see that all these options that are available, it's gonna be author. So the next one is the publisher. I'm gonna copy the function. So it's gonna be set pub. That's how I named it, so I'll stick to it, and it's gonna be new publisher. I'm gonna convert it to uppercase. Over here it's gonna be the publisher, and we copy it into our new publisher. So next one is the date. Once again, I'm gonna copy paste that. It's gonna be set date edit, and it's gonna call new date like that, and it's gonna be date edit. And after that, actually, we don't, these are the only ones for the C string. So now we're gonna do the quantity. So it's gonna be void set quantity. And this one doesn't take a pointer. This one take the integer called new quantity. Actually, I'm gonna spell it a new quantity, and it takes integer subscript as well for the array. And over here we'll simply assign it again, but we cannot use a string copy. We are not working with strings, so we'll simply go book and the subscript dot quantity on hand now equals the new quantity. That's what we are passing into this function and assigning it to the array, just like we did with all those C strings, except we use the, like I said, we use the string copy function from the library. So I'm gonna take this and do the set wholesale, and it doesn't take integer, it takes double new wholesale. So this one will be wholesale, and this one will be equals new wholesale. Book subscript dot wholesale. All right, and the same with retail. So I'll call it set retail, and it's gonna be called new retail, and this one will be retail. All right, so these are our functions. Now we have the two more, which is the is empty and remove book. So let's do those. In the integer is empty. Remember, it returns integer 0 or 1, depending on whether the array is empty or the subscript is empty or not. So integer subscript, and we will use the simple if statement. If the book of the subscript, and we check the title, so the book title with the index 0, if that equals 0, then we will return 1, which means that it is empty, or else we will return 0, which means it is not empty. And we can use this when we are adding new books. Remember, we only can add up to 20 books. So this basically checks whether there's still any available ones or not, any available slots in our arrays. So next one is the void remove book. And this one, we will simply delete the book. So book of the subscript, and we'll delete the book title, or we'll not delete it, and we'll assign it the value of 0, because if the first character is 0 of the title, then we know, in other words, if index 0, which means the first character of the book title, is 0, then we know that book was deleted, even though it's actually not totally deleted, but it has a 0, so for our purposes, that's how we declare it deleted, basically. So subscript, we'll do the same with ISBN. We do it with ISBN and title because these are the two things that we use in search. We are searching for ISBN at one point, and we use the book title to do the searches. So if these are zeros, then all the other subscripts for the book title, whether it's the wholesale or retail, they'll never be found because they are never used directly. They are always used in association with either ISBN or book title, or both. So okay, so that's our book data. So we have the main menu. We already finished that. We have the book data. We have the header for the book data as well. So I'm gonna save that. And the next thing we can do is, well, we need to do the inventory menu, cashier, and report. So let's do, which one's first? The cashier. I'm gonna close these two so they don't clutter the real estate here. Oh, I closed the wrong one. So I'm gonna open the cashier. First thing, we need to include the book data header because we are going to work with that now. So I'm gonna delete again all these arrays, and instead I'm gonna externally declare the book data, call it book, with the as number of books, which is the constant of 20 for now. Okay, so now these declarations within our cashier, they stay, because remember, this is basically like our database. This is just one particular title that we are going to be purchasing. That's for our cashier module only. That's kind of like an internal declarations for the cashier module only. So all these actually stay the same. All right, so what is gonna be changing here is when we have the ISBN row, now we have to access it through our structure, so which is called book. And when you go after the row and press period, you get the options. And the first one, basically we are comparing if the ISBN number matches the one in our structure, then we're good to go. All right, so and we can display the things. We can display what we have in the inventory for the cashier module. So our title will be again book row as a subscript dot book title. Retail will be, of course, book row dot retail. Over here the same, where it says retail, it's gonna say now book dot row dot retail, because again we are working with structure now. The book title will be book period book title, and quantity on hand will be book dot row dot quantity on hand. All right, so that's this part. What else is here? Over here as well, we'll change the quantity on hand, so it's gonna be book dot row dot quantity on hand. So basically, like I said, we are simply changing our arrays into a structure. Now, to display the information, we have the header. That's okay. We go into our loop. And over here, I have ISBN. Oh, this was actually wrong. This doesn't even have an index. It's supposed to have an index of I. Yeah, except it's not even supposed to be ISBN. It's supposed to be the ISBN number that we have for the internal cashier. So this was actually a bug that I didn't even notice before. So it's gonna be what it's supposed to say is ISBN number and index of I. Now these stay the same. Remember, like I said, these are the internal variables. These are not the structures. All these values have been assigned over here in the code above it. So over here we're just displaying it. So that stays the same. And this is the message that displays whether or not to keep whether or not the user wants another transaction. But I'm looking at this one. This one says assign value is never used. And let me see what's going on there. Well, it comes over to the loop. Oh, it's assigned. We have choice. We assign it the value that is returned from another transaction, whether it's Y or N, but it's never used. And it's never used because we already display everything, and we simply say thank you for shopping with Serendipity bookstore. This is actually redundant. We don't need this two lines, message and choice, because they never, after we display the sale, we don't ask for another transaction. If we want another transaction, we make a choice from the menu. All right, so that's our cashier. Next, our inventory menu. Once again, we will include the header. So we are going to include the book data header. And just like we did before, I'm gonna delete all these and do the extern book, bad type in book data. Wow. Data, there you go. Call it again book, and it's gonna be the number of books. So that's a structure declared right there. The main menu or the inventory menu, that doesn't change because we simply call in the functions, and the functions will change. So the lookUpBook, this is the book title, this is the search title. You know what, I named this search title before because we had the book title and a title, but now when we have all in arrays, but book title now is a structure. So I'm just gonna rename this to a title. It's gonna be, I think, more descriptive. That's the title. I mean, we're searching for it, but we are matching it with the book title from the structure. So I'm just gonna use title throughout this whole the whole inventory menu. So if our title, so if our book with the index of row dot book title matches the title, what the user enters, what we are searching for, then we have possible match. We have to modify this again to reflect our structure. So it's gonna be book title, and the same here when it says book title row dot book title. And if the user presses Y, if it's a match, then we go to our book info and paste the or pass the information to it from our structure. So the ISBN, the book title, the author. It's gonna be the publisher. And actually, you know what, let me put this on a new line. This is gonna be the date edit. And this is gonna be the quantity on hand. I'm gonna put this on a new line, and this is gonna be the book wholesale and retail, book retail. So we pass it into our book info, and then that's really all for this lookUpBook function. editBook, we're gonna approach it a little differently. I'm gonna create a few variables here, so because I'm not gonna be dealing with all these arrays here. So I'm gonna create character title. That's gonna be the search title, basically, what we are going to be searching for. I'm gonna create character ISBN, string size, character publisher, string size, character date, and it's gonna be string size as well. So and I'm gonna create a row as well. I mean, I have it within the loop, but I can just do it here. Actually, I need quantity and wholesale as well. I forgot quantity. I need integer, actually double the wholesale, double retail, and when I'm doing these, I'm gonna do the integer row as well. So over here, I'm just gonna use the one that I already declared. So for row equals 0. Now what we are doing now, we're checking if the book is empty, if the title is empty. But now we have the function called isEmpty, and we'll pass the row to it. And if it's true, then we can add, because we are adding new title. In other words, this basically is saying, yeah, there is still room in our structure to add another title. So let's add another title. So it asks what title you want to add. And now, since I don't want to deal with, that's why I did these characters over here, because I didn't want to do the arrays. I'm gonna simply do the title and string size. And now we don't do the string upper anymore, because string upper is being called from the data, from the book data functionality, from the book data header or the file. So we're not going to be calling string upper. We'll simply go and call the set title function that we have into our book data. So set title, and we will pass the title, which is gonna be the new title that we are adding, and a row, which is the index of the in the array where we are adding the new title. And set title already contains a call to the string upper, so it will convert everything to upper right there. So the same with the ISBN. I'm gonna delete the row over there. I'm gonna delete the string upper, and instead I'm gonna go set ISBN and pass the ISBN and row. And author, the same way. We'll delete that. Do I have author? Oh, I don't have author. I forgot. Okay, so ISBN, I have publisher, I have date. Okay, so I'm just gonna add character, author, and the string size. All right, so oops, I don't want to quotes. So over here, we'll simply call the set author and pass the author and row. Publisher, the same way, it's still a C string, so we'll do the same thing. Set publisher, and we'll pass the publisher and row. And date edit. Set date edit. And I called it date, I believe that's what I call it. Yeah, date, all right. Date and row. Now quantity, we'll enter a new quantity. We'll get the quantity. So I'll simply do cin quantity. And then I'm gonna call the set quantity. And the arguments will be quantity and row. And the same with wholesale. I'm gonna call the wholesale and set it to set wholesale. And finally the retail as well. And it's gonna be set retail. I have an error here. It's supposed to just say date, not date edit. All right, so that's our editBook. Now editBook. It's actually gonna be very similar, so I'm gonna copy paste this whole thing. I'm gonna use the same way. I don't need the row. I may need the choice. And yes, no, I don't need the search title because that's our title now. So I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna see which one I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna use all of these. All right, so yeah, maybe we'll see. So what do? First, we have the title that we are searching for, convert it to uppercase, and then we go into our loop that stays the same, but our book title row now will be obviously our book row dot book title, and if that matches or equals to the title that we are searching for, then we have possible match. So now again, I just have to come over here and change this to a structure instead of just an array. So it's gonna be book row dot book title. And if this is the match, we are going to use the book info. Where is this? Oh, here it is. So I'm just gonna copy paste that. Oh, this is my editBook. editBook. Here it is. Book info. I'm gonna simply. This is gonna be the same thing, so I'm gonna copy paste it right there. And then we go into our do loop. That doesn't really change. We simply have our choices, what we want to edit. And down here, or in our switch definitely is going to change. Now, we have our current ISBN that we are displaying. And then we ask, okay, so you want to edit that. What is the new ISBN you want to add? So again, I'm going to replace this from ISBN row from the array, just from the variable that I declared. And I'm not going to call string upper. Again, I'm going to simply do the set ISBN and paste the ISBN and row, just like we did in the add function. This is the same thing. It's supposed to just say title now. Actually, I'm sorry, it's supposed to say book row, obviously, that book title. All right, so and actually, not this one, not supposed to say ISBN, it's not supposed to say book row dot ISBN. Again, we are working with structure, right? So okay, so we have our title. Entering new title, we will simply enter the title, which is the variable title, and I'm gonna call the set, what is it, book title, set title, and paste the title, or pass the title as an argument along with the string size, because it's a C string. All right. Oh, this is this too. This is not supposed to say row. When we are calling set ISBN, just like we did before, when we are calling these, we simply paste we get the line and then we paste the row. Okay. So this is supposed to be the row. Yeah, that was correct. I'm sorry. When I'm getting the line, I'm getting the ISBN and all of it up to a string size, which is the 51 characters that we have. However, when I'm calling the set title, I obviously don't want to pass string size to it. I need to pass the index for the title, for the array. So do I have it correctly here? Get line, that's correct. Yeah, these are correct, and that's how it's supposed to be. I'm sorry. You grab the value and then you assign it by calling the set ISBN or set title, but passing the argument, appropriate argument, in this case title, and a row, which is the subscript for the array. All right, so that's good. Now let's do the author. So it's gonna be book dot row dot author, and again we are getting the author, and we are going to call the set author function and pass the author and row. Okay, so that's that. Publisher, it's gonna say book dot row dot publisher, and we will call the set publisher and pass the publisher and row. Okay, date edit. So we have our book dot row dot date edit. This one is simply gonna say date and set date edit, date and row. Like that. Now quantity on hand, that's an integer. So we have our book row that quantity on hand, and we're simply gonna grab the quantity, and then we're gonna call the set quantity and pass the quantity that we just got from the user and assign it to a subscript with the value of row. And we have two more. So book row dot wholesale, that's the same like the quantity. We'll grab the wholesale and then call the set wholesale, and we are passing the wholesale and row. And finally, our book row dot retail, grabbing the retail from the user and passing it to our set retail. It's gonna pass the retail and row. All right, so let me just quickly go through it. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, I see more right now. So over here, it says search title. Remember, I renamed it to title, so I'm just gonna do that. And that's all for our, this was what, edit book. And last one is the delete book. I may need all these. I'm gonna rename this to title again, so I'm consistent now with the rest of it. So it's gonna be title. This is gonna be title. And just like before, we are simply gonna convert this to a structure. Book title. If that matches the title, this is the same thing over and over and again. So it's book title. And I'm gonna copy paste the book info, because if it matches, then we are going to display the book that we are asking the user, would you like to delete this particular record? And yes or no. So again, I have to fix the erase to book title. Now, if the user chooses yes to delete, we don't do this anymore. What we are going to do, we are going to call the remove book and pass the index of row or the subscript of row to it and display the record was deleted, otherwise it wasn't deleted. And over here, search title will be, of course, called title. All right, that looks like all for inventory menu. Let me do the reports. I think that might be the last one we need to do. So include book data. And the same thing, delete all this and do extern book data. My keyboard is kind of slow. There's like a delay or something. Data book, and it's gonna be the number of books. So I have extern book data book by the number of books. All right, so the this again stays the same. It only calls the functions. So let's start with the report listing, and it won't really change much. All this is going to now say booked, and then appropriate title or ISBN or so forth. So I'm gonna copy paste it. This is all gonna be book. And it's gonna be, the first one was book title. The second one, what is something wrong with my declaration? Extern book data book number of books. That should be all right. It cannot resolve. Oh, that's because it's supposed to be, of course, lowercase. Then that's the next one is the ISBN. The next one is the author. Then there's the publisher. And date edit. Then there's the quantity on hand. Wholesale. And finally, retail. That's one report. Now let's do the wholesale report. This one, again, this one's gonna take book ISBN. It could be also title, doesn't matter. Remember, we are deleting the ISBN or the title. So in this case, we are checking whether the ISBN is 0 or the first character of it. Anyway, so if it's not empty, then we can keep printing it until we hit an empty record, and we don't print the empty record. So book, this is gonna be the same like before, so it's gonna be book, ISBN, quantity on hand, and wholesale. So this is gonna be the book title. This one's gonna be the ISBN. Quantity on hand, and the last one is the wholesale. So again, change this to the structure, quantity on hand, and and wholesale. And that's all for this report. Retail, the same deal. It's gonna be book dot ISBN, title, ISBN, quantity on hand, and this one will be retail, and this one will be the same. Again. All right, so that's this report, and there's 2 more. So that's now the quantity. Now we're starting to work with the pointers, but as far as we are concerned with our structure, we'll simply use the structure instead of the array. So it still say book with the index of and the quantity on hand as the property. So this stays the same. What else is here? Oh, our ISBN here. Oh, what happened now? I'm in main menu for some reason. I want to be in reports, of course. All right, so and that's the ISBN and book title and ISBN. And finally, actually not finally, there's a H after that. So, but this one's cost. So book sale, that's gonna be the wholesale. Once again, book.isbn. And we have the book title and ISBN. Book title, ISBN, and quantity on hand. Quantity on hand. All right, so that's that. That's the cost, and now we have the age. So this one's gonna be book dot date edit, and over here same deal, dot ISBN, book title, and quantity on hand, and this one's gonna be date edit. All right. Oh, I just noted there's a date edit where we have a $sign. We don't need obviously a $sign. I think I just copy pasted it from the previous ones when we dealt with the wholesale and retail. So I just deleted $sign before the date. We don't know. That's good. All right, I have some errors still here. So what do I have here? Oh, I forgot my book dot ISBN over here. Still some warning. Let me see what it is. Item subtotal. That should be maybe all right. It just simply says, let me see what it suggests. Oh, remove initializer. All right, I removed the 0 there, and I'm pretty sure this is the same thing. I don't need a initializer. Yeah. And oh, we don't need the string because we have C string, so I can remove that. Include. And now we have a green check mark, so it seems to be okay. So that's our reports, and I think we are ready to see if this runs. So I'll go to build solution. And it's building slowly but surely. Hopefully surely. Still building. Taking a while. Hey, we got a successful build. All right, so let's run it. So first, let me go to inventory and add a few books. So I'm gonna do title 1, ISBN 1, author 1, publisher 1, I don't know, 5/30/2016. Let's say we added 5. 10 was the wholesale, 20 was the retail. Let's add another one. Oh, it says no more books, so obviously that is wrong. No more books may be added, but it lets me actually add it. It's just something wrong with the message. I'll look at it later. So let me do title 2, I mean, ISBN 2, author 2, publisher 2, and let's say date added was 6/2016. Quantity, let's say we added 50, and wholesale price was 20 and retail 25. Record was entered. Let's add another book. Yeah, it keeps repeating. See, no more books may be added, but let's see if it actually lets me. ISBN 3, author 3, chef 3, 6/5/2016, and let's say we added, I don't know, 100 of them, and it cost 50 and 75 is the retail. So let's go to look up the book. Let's do partial search for title, and it says title 1. Is that the one? No. Title 2, no. Let's say title 3. Okay, and it displays title 3 correctly. Okay, so that's working. Let's edit something. So let's add press 3 again. No, not title 1, not title 2. Let's edit title 3, and let's edit the quantity on hand, which is currently 100. I'll do 6 to edit it, and currently I wanted 99 instead of 100. So when I exit and go to look up the book, and it's the title 3, now the quantity on hand says 99. So edit seems to be working. I'll check the delete last. First, let's try the cashier module. Enter ISBN 2, for example. It displays that. I want to buy 2 books, and yeah, I want to buy another one. So it's 5/20/2016 or something. ISBN 3, and I want to add 5 of these, and that's let's add another one from ISBN 2, and I want to add, let's say 80, which is too much, so it says insufficient quantity. So let's just add 1, and that's it. 3 books. And here is my final receipt. ISBN 2, title 2, 3, and then again I added another ISBN 2, and this is my final receipt. Okay, so let's do the reports or check those out. That's the first one. I'm not gonna type the date, just whatever. And here are our 3 titles. That's correct. Now the next one is the wholesale value report, and it returns the wholesale value over here, the retail value, and it returns the retail value over there. And you can see the quantities have changed because we purchased some books. Remember, we just purchased a few books, so now we have title 2. We purchased 3 of them, and we changed it to 99 for title 3, and then purchased 5 of them. So now we have 94. That's why that's actually, I didn't even realize that actually working well as well. I forgot to test that before, I believe. Okay, so let's do listing by quantity. And you get the 94, 47, and 5. That's correct. Listing by cost, from the highest to the lowest. And by age. And you get the date added. I don't think it's should be 5/30 2016 6/5. I think this one should be first 6/5, like the newest. I'll look into that. All right, so that's kind of working still pretty good. Next thing, let's go to main menu and delete a book. So I go to inventory and 4 to delete a book. Again, partial search. No, not this one. Yeah, let's delete book number 2, title number 2. So it displays the information. Do you want to delete it? I'm like, yeah, delete that one. So when I go to look up book and I do the partial search, it says title 1. Is that the one? I said no, but the next one, it skips to 2 because that one was deleted and goes to 3. And if I press no, it says, okay, that book is not even in the inventory anymore. All right, so we have a pretty decent working program. And those 2 little things that I noticed there, I'm gonna look into that and fix it, and I'm gonna fix it in the next video to show you what's wrong with it. This one's already running almost an hour, so that's quite a long enough, I think. So all right, this was part 11. Now we have a structure instead of just arrays. We have a structure of arrays, and I will see you in part 12. Take care.